Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I am so glad that you are here. We are in the middle of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Eastern Conference, Western Conference finals, but the Vancouver Canucks are eliminated. So we need to talk about our team, what's going on, and it is going to be, in my opinion, an absolutely wild offseason for the Vancouver Canucks. I think that this team is going to be making moves, doing things that might surprise you. In fact, today I made a video about Zadorov and that he just rejected a contract offer that got sent to him from the Vancouver Canucks. But the good news is they're in trade negotiations. But today I want to talk about something that people are kind of talking about, and it's what to do with the mess of Mikheyev. The mess of Mikheyev, everyone. What do you expect them to do? And I've heard so many different things that people think they should do. But let's talk about that. It's a mess, right? It's an absolute mess. I would love for you to post in the comments, whether you're here live during the live stream or after, if you're watching this video after, post in the comments what you expect. Also, just a reminder that I produce Canucks content that is passionate, realistic, and honest. And please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. I love making Canucks content. And please follow me on my socials, Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. Trying to grow the channel, trying to just have some fun. Love connecting with Canucks fans. One of my favorite things I've learned that I really enjoy conversations. And so yeah, I love to respond to comments as well as make great Canucks content. So, all right, let's quickly just dive into Mikheyev. There's a lot to talk about and not a lot to talk about at the same time. First thing is this. So Mikheyev is a Russian-born player, number 65 for the Vancouver Canucks. He's 29 years old. He's a left wing. He also can play right. He's 6'3". He's got good size, everyone. He's 6'3", 192 pounds. Okay, 192 pounds. The problem is this: like on paper, he looks like this is the kind of guy you're looking for, right? But the situation is a complete mess, and the reason why it's a complete mess is, not only did he get the injury that was a significant injury, and we need to talk about that as well, but in 60 games, I think it was 60 games, he scored one goal. One goal. And the question is, why did Tocchet play him in the top 6, everyone? Let's actually, not even the top 6. Why did Tocchet play him with Miller and Pettersson, the top line, in Game 7? He'd just been healthy scratched. He had not been playing well. He literally is the guy. Well, if you got one goal in 60 games, I'm sorry, I don't know why you're not scoring. He had lots of opportunities to score, but it's like he has hands of cement. Let's just be honest. For some reason, he struggled. Hands of cement. Just things did not go his way all season long. All season long. And the reason why it's a mess is not just because he played on the top line or in the top 6 for most of the year. It's that he's making $4.75 million not only this season, but this season coming up and the season coming up after. And so that's what gets us to ask the question, what should we do with the mess of Mikheyev, everyone? Look at that cap hit. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. Some of you are going, Trevor, stop repeating yourself. Well, it is. Why would Tocchet play him in the top 6? Now, granted, here's my question. If he had scored in game 6, coming off of being healthy scratched, okay? Would your opinion of him change if we had gone and he had scored on that little breakaway thing he had, not breakaway, but that moment he was wide there, he was right there, deked out Skinner, did not score, hands of cement, right? This year he's been hands of cement. Would have your opinion changed? I feel like the narrative would have changed a little bit. The problem is he just did what he's done all season long. Now, I'll tell you a little story before we get into the 3 options that people are talking about. When Mikheyev got traded to the Vancouver Canucks, by the way, it was Patrick Allvin that traded for him. Okay, not Jim Benning. Patrick Allvin traded for him for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I instantly called one of my closest friends who is a diehard Leafs fan. Okay, diehard Leafs fan. And asked him about Mikheyev. And I said, Peter, what can we expect from Mikheyev? Because the Mikheyev I know he's like a 3rd line, 4th line guy. And he's like, Trev, he's got speed. This guy is fast. He'll be able to kill penalties. But he's a 3rd and 4th line player, max. He is not a top 6 forward. Not a top 6 forward. And I'm like, okay. Now, sometimes people get buried on the 3rd and 4th line on other teams because they're stacked up top. So we know the Toronto Maple Leafs have great forwards, right? You got Tavares, you got Matthews, Marner, Nylander, all those guys. Then they went and got Tyler Bertuzzi. They got some other guys to be in that top 6. So Mikheyev is not going to be in that top 6, right? And I don't even know if Tyler Bertuzzi, I don't think it was even there but the point is that when he did play there, I mean, he's playing with Matthews. He's going to get points with Matthews, right? But apparently his speed is what they're looking for. And that's what Allvin said in the press conference, is that I'm looking for a winger with speed. Well, you've already got one. Problem is he forgot to add who can score, who can contribute, who can do things like that. And so he did kind of discuss it. And I don't think you're going to like his answer. So a lot of people have literally posted in the comments, we need to trade Mikheyev. Here's the thing. What team in their right mind at this stage of his career, with the season that he just had, with the Game 7 blatant, ready to go, could have scored, did not. That's the last moment you're going to think of when it comes to Mikheyev. Why would you trade for him and pay him $4.75 million for the next 2 seasons? Why in the world? Like, when you've posted that, trade Mikheyev, what team do you think would be like, hey, let me sign up for this mess? Come on, think about it for a second. Now, the only way he could be traded, in my opinion, okay, you're entitled to your opinion, but the only way he can be traded is if it's in a package deal. Now, I've seen some package deals where they needed to move out some money and to retain it in order to make it so, because every team, let me rephrase that. Almost every single team is strapped to the cap. Like, they are in cap hell. They're trying to shed. They've got UFAs, RFAs that they need to resign. They're not looking to add $4.75 million onto their cap. Okay. So to trade Mikheyev, you would actually have to retain salary. And I'm sorry, but I'm just not really interested. Or you trade him and give them a 1st-round draft pick, which I think is absolutely awful to do. We got to stop trading our 1st-round draft picks, our 2nd-round draft picks. Like, listen, the draft this year is going to be so boring for us Vancouver fans. Yeah, and you're like, well, we tried to win the cup. Well, we didn't. We didn't. So you're trading future assets for a chance. And this is the problem. You can't keep doing this to fix your mistakes, because eventually you end up with nobody in your system. You have no great prospects. You didn't hit the lottery in some of these picks, and they became, like, think about it. If you got rid of that pick that ended up being Hughes or Pedersen, or, you know, fill in the blanks, even Besser, wasn't he like a number 22 or number 24 overall draft pick? And you're like, oh, there's never good players that get drafted there. That's just a lie. There's good players that get drafted. Is there misses? Yes. Yes. In every single draft of every single league. The idea that in order to move this money, you have to give up a first round pick. I'm not interested, everyone. I'm not interested. And who's going to trade for him, honestly? Because if I was a GM of any league, or any team, I mean, in the league, I would not be trying to trade for him unless a first-round pick's coming back. I mean, you got a Chicago, you got a San Jose. Maybe they're looking to add some cap space and then get a first-rounder. I mean, sure. But I think it's bad business. It's bad business, everyone. Dumb move to do. And really the dumbest move was you went and got him and thought he was going to be this when he never was. Now, he is fast. Now, I do want to premise this. Maybe we'll talk about it if we keep him, what that's going to mean. The other option is this. People keep saying buy him out. I mean, how many players do we want to buy out, everyone? Again, trying to fix your mistakes. The problem is if you buy him out, you get a cheaper rate for this year, a little bit cheaper rate for next year, but then the cap hit hits for 2 more years after that. And we already are in the issues with OEL's contract. By the way, OEL is in the Eastern Conference Finals, and he saved a shot with his butt. For some reason, he's playing great in Florida, did not play great in Vancouver. What a fail. And if our answer is buy out Mikheyev, buy out every player that doesn't work, just bad management, right? Bad management. Now, granted, the OEL thing gave us flexibility. We were able to make the playoffs. I think that was decent. It's still gonna bite us. It's gonna bite us, everyone. And I think I would rather have 2 years of Mikheyev making $4.75 million, staying on the team, than 4 years of him hindering our cap, crippling our cap. So, but some people want to do it. I mean, when the most calculated buyouts, Mikheyev, is people searching that on, I think it's capfriendly.com that you can do that. Mikheyev's in, like, I think the top 5. So many Canuck fans are going, what would it be the penalty if we bought him out? Again, just bad decision making. So this is what I think we're going to do. And this is what I think Allvin said. So I think we're stuck with him. So the only hope we have is he turns it around next year. And what does turn it around mean? Well, anything's better than 1 goal in 60 games. So if he gets 2 goals in 60 games, great. No, that's not going to be any better, right? I think what you have to do is you have to stop doing this. Stop doing this, everyone. You can't have him here. You've got to have him here. And you're saying, well, that's an expensive 4th line. Yes, it is. But this is not the first time we have overpaid players on the 4th line. Remember Jay Beagle, Louis Eriksson? They were 4th line players. I'm sorry, but you got to bury them. And you know what? He's not that bad when it comes to, like, he's a 4th line player. Like, Di Giuseppe has been a 4th line guy. I mean, Höglander was 4th liner on this one. I think that's dumb. Like Sam Lafferty, for example. Let's use Sam Lafferty. I think Mikheyev is better than Sam Lafferty. Gives you chances. Now, if we look at the penalty kill, Okay. Is he there? No, he's not there. We might be able to put him on the penalty kill, depending on, I mean, is Bluger and Lindholm coming back? Probably not both of them, maybe one of them. Amon's there. I mean, they're not going to play him on the penalty kill when he's on the top line, right? But that's the thing, everyone. Like, I know that you don't like the answer to bury him on the fourth line. Okay, I get that. I get that you don't want him here. You don't want to spend all that money for him there. Okay, I get that. But there's no one's trading for him, honestly. If he's a throw-in deal, great. That's probably your best option, is to trade Mikheyev in another deal. Like I saw one with Hronek, Mikheyev, and I can't remember who the third one was. Let's just say Höglander, okay? And to Carolina, and you get Pesce, Nashis, and there was someone else. Can't remember who the third one is. Okay. Oh, it was Chatfield. Okay, let's do that deal. But I don't think Carolina's going to do it. And if Allvin and Rutherford can pull a rabbit out of their hat and trade Mikheyev, okay. I'm okay with that. You know what, everyone? I thought this was going to be a short video, but 17 minutes of the mess of Mikheyev. I'm actually shocked with myself. I think the answer is we have to keep Mikheyev. We don't have any more options. And he's a cap hit of 7.5 million, almost $5 million a season. It's basically Garland minus 200,000 per season. And you just pray that he gets back to his normal speed going into next year. A lot of people said he was going to get back there. Next season, you're going to see the fastest Mikheyev we've seen yet since the injury. And you just hope he scores the odd goal here and there. And really, fourth liners, you're not expecting them to score 20 goals. But what if he scores 10 or 15? That would be a successful year. Now, granted, not for how much money he's making, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm going into comments. Please post in the comments what you think. If you're here later, please post in the comments what you think. But this Mikheyev situation is a complete mess, and we're not doubting it. We're not doubting it, okay? So, other fans predicting Canucks fans won't have as good. Let's just talk about Mikheyev here. Mikheyev is untradeable, and we can't add to our dead cap. I agree. Just pray he's still recovering from the injury. Yes, Del, that's exactly what I've said. Or trade Mikheyev for Grogu. Okay. Hey, Grogu, do you want to get traded? He said no, everyone. He said no. Mikheyev to Calgary for Kuzmenko. I would do that in a heartbeat, bro. In a heartbeat. And you know what's crazy? Is it took like 60 games for Tocchet to bench him. I would do that in a heartbeat. Now, Calgary's not going to do that, everyone. They're not going to do that unless you sweeten it with a first-round pick, which they need. Who else should play there? Suter? Yes. Literally anyone else. Like, you should put Höglander on the top line. I'm sorry, but it was a travesty that Höglander's on the fourth line, Mikheyev's on the top line. Höglander had, 20 goals, 25 goals this season? And you put the guy who has not scored 1 goal in 60 games? Yes. Jarvis, yes. Höglander should be there. PDG should be there over him, honestly. And if that's not ideal, I understand it, but it's better than Mikheyev. Yeah, he would be extremely hard to trade, if not all. Yeah, tight against cap, exactly what I said. 4.7 million is too much for any team to take, even if so. Yeah, I agree. Can you put him to waivers? I guess you could. You're still paying for it. You might as well use them on that top line, the fourth line on the penalty kill. I think that's where you want him. Yeah. Stuart, welcome. Coach Rob Willie, welcome. Good to have you here. Okay, Dreamer. Hogs or Garland should have been on the first line. Well, Garland was already playing significant minutes, so it's Hoglander. Should have been on the fourth line during the season if recovering. Yes, and Allvin's like, this is on me. This is on me because I'm the guy that brought him to Vancouver. I'm the guy who was like, hey, you need to play him there. Gee. Waivers is a gamble as no one will take him. Then the Canucks have to buy him out or still pay him anyway. The $4.7 million. Yeah, only solutions are to work with him now in the offseason or get good trade value. Yep. I think we would have if Mikheyev would have scored in game 7, we would have tied the game up and then overtime, and we could have won. Yeah, exactly. And the narrative would have changed, right? Mikheyev gone, paying too much for a penalty killer. Yes, I agree, but this is what it is. Like, what else do you do? I've already talked about the other scenarios. They're not great. Mikheyev was great for great. Let's put it in quotation. Great for the Leafs. Okay, I'm gonna bring this up. Okay, because at the end of the day, this is important for us to talk about. I want us to be factual in our statements. Okay, I want us to be factual in our statements. Let's look at his. Come on, get this junk out of here. With Toronto, this is what we consider great. So not very many games. 40 games, 23 points. Okay, 54 games, 17 points. 53 games, 32 points. Wow, he doubled it. Okay, 2021, 2022. Then, wow, we traded for him there in 46 games. He had 28 points, and we're like, hey, he's rocking here, everyone. He's rocking. And then last year, 78 games, 11 goals, 31 points. Abysmal, everyone. Abysmal. The lowest time on the ice totals. I mean, where was he great? Where was he great? They had 21 goals in 53 games. Okay, that's probably it. I mean, he's playing with Matthews. Dell, he wasn't great. He was not great. He was average. He was decent. He was maybe a little bit better than average. Let's just be honest. Okay, let's be honest. There's a lot of discussion about his knee injury over a year ago and now having complications skating like his former self. I know. When players get those injuries, it's hard to recover. You need the knees. You need the knees to skate. Just saying. If he scored in game 7, would have been a Burrows type moment. Burrows won. Yeah, are you talking about like game 7 overtime? Yes. But we never got to overtime, right? So we needed him to score in the thing. So yeah, I don't think he's taken from Pittsburgh. Get Mikheyev to Michigan this summer. Get Jim Hughes to teach him how to roof a puck top shelf where mama keeps the peanut butter. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Utah is not going to want him. Come on, man. Come on. Even Utah is not dumb enough to do this. Also, get Petey to join them in Michigan. Okay. Petey is 10 times the problem. Yes, we got problems with Petey too. We're just talking about Mikheyev here, Dell. Trev, when you mentioned the only way he can be traded, but please keep in mind he has a clause where he can pick 12 teams. Wouldn't he pick any team? Let's be honest. He's going to make the same amount of money. He's going to get way more playing time. But yeah, you're right. He's got a trade clause. That's crazy now. He's got a trade clause, everyone. Yeah, I don't want us trading away picks. What about Lecker-Mackey, Wielander, and Petey too? What about them? We're talking about Mikheyev here. We're talking about Mikheyev, right? Yeah. Oh, you're saying that we don't have guys. Yes, because we kept our picks. That's the point, Dell. We have to keep our picks. You can't trade away Mikheyev and your first round pick to get rid of the mess. Bad business, in my opinion. I don't know. He's not the priority number one right now. We have way too many things right now. Right now, Zadorov, Lindholm, Hronek, Joshua, like you name it, Shilovs, those are all higher priorities right now than we got time with Besser. Yeah, Taylor Hall, bro, you're right. The number one pick is not always great. But I'm talking about a first round pick. But Taylor Hall was league MVP, bro. Like, give me Taylor Hall any day of the week. Yeah, that's my decision, Del. Yeah, buying out is not good. We've had lots of great drafted players, especially on defense. Yep. I wouldn't say lots. I'd say some. OEL is on Florida's number one power play. Oh. I don't think we just move on. I'm going to do a video on this, all the guys who moved on and who found success other places. He needs to spend 3 months working on his puck handling when going to the net. I agree. Onus is on the coach to get players on a line that will work together. Yes. I think Allvin failed this first and foremost. I think Rick Tocchet has failed this, and I think Mikheyev has failed this. There's 3 people to blame here. Del, I disagree. I disagree, man. It's not the same. It's not the same. Have him cook on the fourth and play himself to the top. Yep. Give him every opportunity on that fourth line to succeed. See if he can make the third line and see if he from the third line he can make the second. I think you should never put him on the first line again. Again, we've talked about this, Brian, a little bit. Put him in Abbotsford. I don't think that's a good idea because you have to buy him out. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Mikheyev, only problem, he can't score, but his defensive play is good. But at $4.75 million, he has to score goals. I agree, Roberto. Bury him in the minors or trade him. You can't trade him. You can't trade him, man. Agreed. PD should earn it. Okay. I don't agree with that. I think he's 89 points, guys. 89 points. I get it. He's not playing the way you want. Let's keep it to Mikheyev here. He can only go on LTIR, Jack, if he's injured. So if he's injured, then you can put him on LTIR. For those of you that want to trade picks, look at the 2014 redraft. Braden Point went 79th. Victor Arvidsson went 112th. Pasternak 25th. Exactly. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. I like Big Hog. I think he adds character to the team. Hope they keep him. Me too. But if we can, I want him to stay in Vancouver. But if they can trade him and to get better, they might have to do that. Personalized, nobody in the world are going to do that deal. No, Carolina would never do that. We can buy him out, but it turns into be 4. And yes, thank you. Even though I may agree to disagree, I still enjoy the conversation. And thanks everyone for taking a moment to subscribing. I really, really appreciate you being here. This is such a messy situation. It's just really, really hard to know what to do with this. His days are done after game 7. He might be. I mean, if we buy him out, his days are done. He's not playing. I don't think anyone else is going to pick him up. Even for anyone going to pick him up for $2 million? I don't know. Was meaning Mikey. I think PD is going to come back next year. I hope so. How can you keep Mikheyev on the team and then sign guys like Josh? I know this is. You don't have an option, man. If you buy him out, it's a 4-year dead cap. 4 years. If you trade him, you're going to have to trade a pick with it. That's bad business. So I get it. I get it. We might have to make some tough decisions because we made some wrong decisions here. And every team has some bad contracts. It's not just the Vancouver Canucks. I know Höglander did very little in the playoffs. Might call Dubas. If anyone is dumb enough to take Mikheyev, it's him. I think that's one of the reasons why he lost his job. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. We got holes. We can't overpay. Our UFAs is going to be Mikheyev. It only will be Mikheyev again if you pay someone, overpay someone, and they don't produce. I have no problem paying someone and they produce. I have zero problem. If Pedersen earns his $11.6 million, great. I have no problem that JT Miller is making $8 million a year because he's earning it. I have no problem that Hughes is making what he's making. He's earning it. Brock Besser earning it, right? Like, even Garland earned it this year, everyone. Isn't it up to Tocchet which line the player? Yes, but I'm sure there's discussions with the big boys sometimes. Yet no one's picking off waivers. He's still recovering from an ACL injury, so give him 20 games to find his game, and if he doesn't, buy him out then, okay? I don't mind that, but I would prefer just to see, just bury him on the fourth line, everyone. He's never played an 82-game season. He's injury-prone. You might be right. Honestly, if we have to deal Höglander to get Nashis, we have to do it ASAP. Got to find a winger to play with PD. We should be looking at Toffoli too. I mean, all depends on how much these guys going to cost. Like, have you been looking at the numbers for Nashis, buddy? Some are saying that he's going to ask for $7.4 million. $7.4 million. So it's not just like, go get him and then we're good. You know, he's an RFA. There's always a hope that Mikheyev leaves for the KHL. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, man. I mean, I guess. But why would he do that when you're making $4.75 million? Honestly, why do we pay him so much to begin with? We just went through that. I showed what he did. I showed what he did in Toronto. I do not know. I do not know why we did that. I don't know. He didn't have a stellar season. Look at this. In 53 games, he had 32 points. I guess that's considered a stellar season there. And then Vancouver went and got him. I don't think we traded for him, though. I don't think. Right? How did we get him? Let's go to signed by Patrick. We did not trade for him. We signed him for that, guys. We signed him for that. Yeah, I think we're losing Lindholm. They're trying to get him. Yeah, I don't think they're trading Lindholm, anyone. I don't think they're doing that. Jeevan, good to see you. Hey, Trev, the Russian mob may be assistants. Oh, yikes. Yikes, man. I could see Lindholm in Detroit, Tampa Bay, Calgary, or Toronto. All the rumors are saying that Boston wants him badly. But yeah, he could be in all those places. Not in Calgary, though, I don't think. You have to buy out a player before the season starts. No, I don't think you have to. Trade Mikheyev to the KHL for Trampkin. Dell, that's a good one. And apparently you're reading minds now, too. Do you think Stamkos could come to Vancouver to play with Petey? I would love that. I just don't know how much he would want. Honestly, how much would he want? But boy, I mean, can't have any excuses after that, right? Stamkos is going to be in the Hall of Fame, everyone. Next season, we could be sitting here and he could actually be playing to his contract like others. Yeah. You know what? That's right. We're in doom and gloom situation. Dreamer, you're totally right. This could happen. You're right. Is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Well, I think Nations has opportunity to be good. Yep. But I still think Hoagie has huge upside. I mean, I love Hoagie. No chance you should make that deal. I think you should make that deal, but anyways, the deal is just a rumor. It's just an idea someone made up. It's not real. It's not real. Yeah, it's claimed off waivers. Craziness. I will never forgive Lindholm if he leaves for Boston of all teams. Ryan, I think you should buckle up, bro. It's probably going to happen if Vancouver doesn't sign him. Roberto says, would you consider looking at his stats and all that Goldobin bring him back to Vancouver can be our Kuzmenko? Goldobin is done, bro. He's done. He's done. Nobody wants him in the NHL. I wish we'd still had Kuzmenko. Finstad, good to see you, man. Rumor has it we're trying to get Ekman, Larson, and Eriksson back. Really? I think you're joking. Larson, Ekman, Larson. Are you talking about like OEL and Eriksson? Yeah, this is a joke. You're a funny guy. I should know that. We've been friends for decades. Rumor has it. I thought you were being serious for a second. Why did I think that you were being serious in a chat room? Stamkos, Vancouver, he would want 2 years with $5 million per year. Yeah, let's do it. And you know what? I know someone who'd be very happy about that. It'd be Finstad. Yeah. Yeah, Sundin. Did he get 10 million? Oh. Yeah. You don't think that the vibes environment that he played in at Canucks since the trade is enough for him to want to play at the Canucks? Yeah, I think he wants to play here. I don't think he's got the ability to play here. So we're going to try. Yeah, I know, Mike. You're so right, man. You're so right. I fell for it. Must be late. I still think Hoagie can be a 40-goal scorer. He's never done that. Okay, glad that's not a real thing. Listen. Nacius, he's had 71 points. He's had 53 points. Hoagie's never been that close. I love Hoagie, but yeah. Yeah, I told you, Finstad loves Stammer. I feel like he's enjoyed playing in Vancouver and he would be willing to take a team deal to play here. No? Yeah, I think the answer is no. Honestly, why would Stamkos come to Vancouver? Why? I'm sure there's lots of places he'd rather play, but I would love for him to be here. Don't get me wrong. No, I don't think realistically Vancouver's going to go after Stamkos. I would like it, but I don't think they're going to. Oh, something's in my eye. Yeah, Hoagie is too small, and it showed in the playoffs. Yeah, Roberto, Hoagie will never be a 40-goal scorer. Yeah, you have to give up something to get something, right? Bring back Toffoli. I know a lot of people believe that. Stuart likes that idea too. No, you were talking about Lindholm. Oh, Lindholm. I don't know if he'll take a team deal to play here, to be honest with you. I think he's going to sign somewhere for $8 million, and I don't think that's in Vancouver. I think the Vancouver Canucks will offer him about 6.7, and he'll just decline and he'll move on. That's my opinion. There's not many good centers in free agency. That's why they want Lindholm to say, yeah, I understand the logic, the reasoning, but it is what it is, everyone. So anyways, the Mikheyev situation is a complete mess. We've talked about trading him. We've talked about buying him out. We've talked about just keeping him and seeing if he rebounds. So that's my stuff for tonight, everyone. Yeah, that's what I think about Mikheyev. I think it's a messy situation. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. I don't know what else to say. I have no idea what else to say. But yeah, like Allvin wants, he wants a winger who's got speed. That's Mikheyev, but he got to be able to score. And a lot of people are wanting Toffoli at his current cap hit is attractive 4.25, but he is slow. I don't think Toffoli's the answer. And then, yes, he is a defensive liability. This question from Thomas: what about Tkachuk from Ottawa? Brady Tkachuk for Mikheyev? No. But yes, I mean, what they're saying is Brady Tkachuk for Pettersson. That's the rumor that's going on. We'll talk about that another day. I don't think that Ottawa would do that. I think that'd be a great move for Vancouver personally, but maybe I'm wrong with it. Maybe I'm just too low on Pettersson right now. We can't play Mikheyev with Petey unless we want Petey to play worse than he did. And you can't play him with Miller either. You just can't do that. So, Roberto, thank you so much for coming out tonight, for watching the show, for the encouragement. But I'm going to call it a night, everyone. I'm going to call it a night. I know you guys want to keep talking about this. I kind of feel done talking about the Mikheyev situation. So if people are going to come in later and say, hey, what about Mikheyev? I'll be like, can you go to my last video? I talked for 42 minutes on the mess of Mikheyev. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic night. Oilers lost. By the way, I'll tell you one last story before I go. So Oilers up 2-0. Now it's 3-3 going into the third period. Cannot get a goal. Dallas scores 2 more goals. Robertson gets the hat trick. Edmonton loses 5-3. That's bad news, right? In Edmonton, in your home barn, you lose 5-3. That one hurts. And you know what? I went into a Oilers live stream after just to listen, and it's so interesting. The fans are talking just like we did. A lot of people were saying, we're going to lose in 5 now. We suck. They were saying Skinner's terrible, which I think he was not good. He was good in the second period, but you got to stop him in the third, Skinner. You got to stop him in the third. You want to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. You want to win a cup? You got to find a way to win those kind of games. And Skinner, part of that's on you. I know that the team didn't play that great, but you let 5 goals in. 5. You're not going to win very many times when the Dallas Stars score 5 goals on you. I'm not blaming it all on Skinner, but I was giving it to the fans saying, you can't, that's just unacceptable, man. And they were losing their minds. Oh, don't blame it on our goalie. It's like, dude, 5 goals. 5 goals. 5 goals. You're not going to win. Sorry. So it's 2-1. That's all it is. They could bounce back. Edmonton can bounce back in game 4. We'll see what happens. It's going to happen in a couple nights from now, so we'll see. Anyways, I love talking about the Canucks more than the Oilers. Absolutely way more than the Oilers. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. Even though the Mikheyev situation is a mess, I'm very hopeful about the Canucks. I can't wait. By the way, I just did a YouTube short or Instagram reel, a Facebook reel on what I think about the Zadorov negotiations. Please check it out. It's only 60 seconds long. And of course, always, everyone, let's cheer on our team. Let's be positive about our team. Let's try to find ways, even though I know the Mikheyev one's really hard to stay positive about. But let's go, Canucks, go.